Most people visit parks to relax. Fresh air, open space, the quiet rustling of trees. But here's something most visitors don't realize. According to multiple public safety reports in North America and Europe, more than 30% of missing person incidents in urban areas begin near a park or greenbelt. People vanish on walking trails. Playgrounds stay active long after closing hours. Rangers report shadowy figures moving in places where no light should reach. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a park at night and suddenly felt like someone was watching you? A quiet footstep behind you? A shadow that didn't belong to any tree? Or that strange, creeping chill that whispers, "Leave." Now, tonight, I'll share 3 very scary park horror stories. Real encounters from people who thought a simple walk would be harmless. But parks hide secrets. And sometimes something else is hiding in them too. I used to run every evening in a wooded city park that closed at 9 p.m. It was peaceful, long winding trails, tall pine trees, and just enough light filtering through the branches to make everything feel safe. At least, that's what I used to think. One night, I pushed my run a bit longer than usual. The sky was already turning dark, and the park's lamps flickered on with that soft, buzzing hum. By the time I reached the halfway point of the loop, I realized something. I was completely alone. The air felt off, heavier, like the forest itself was holding its breath. Then it started, footsteps behind me. Slow, rhythmic, following me at the exact same distance. I stopped. The footsteps stopped. I took a step forward. They took a step forward. At first, I wasn't scared. Park rangers say sound can echo strangely between the trees, especially on narrow trails. But what happened next wasn't an echo, not even close. I rounded a bend, and up ahead, maybe 20 meters away, a man stepped out onto the trail. Just appeared, like he had been waiting behind the tree for me. He wasn't wearing any athletic clothes. He wasn't a ranger either. Just an ordinary-looking man in dark clothes, standing in the middle of the path with his back to me. I slowed my run, tried to clear my throat loudly, hoping he'd move aside. He didn't. Instead, he tilted his head, not to the side, backward, all the way, so far back that his face was upside down, staring directly at me. His eyes were wide open, too wide, like someone had stretched them. I froze. My brain didn't know whether to scream, run, or just shut down completely. He didn't move his feet. He didn't turn his body. Only his head, bending back at an angle no human neck should move. Then, without making a sound, he rotated his head back into place, turned his entire body, and walked off the trail, not onto another path, straight into the trees. No flashlight, no stumbling, no hesitation. Like he could see in the dark. I ran. I don't remember breathing. I just ran until I burst out of the trail and into the parking lot. The next morning, still shaken, I went to the ranger station to report what I saw. The ranger didn't laugh. He didn't act confused. He just sighed, looked down at his clipboard, and whispered something I still can't get out of my head. "You're the 4th person this month who saw him." And then, quietly, almost to himself, "He only comes out when the park is about to close." 3 years ago, my cousin and I went to a neighborhood park late at night. It wasn't planned. We were just driving around, talking about life, trying to clear our heads. The park was small, quiet, and completely empty. Just a few lamps glowing weakly over the playground. We sat on a bench near the swings. There were 3 of them, hanging still, perfectly straight, not even the slightest sway. The sky was calm. No wind. Not a sound except distant traffic. After a few minutes of talking, something caught my eye. One of the swings moved. A slow, gentle sway at first, like someone had brushed past it. I nudged my cousin. "Did you see that?" Before he could answer, the swing jerked backward, hard, and launched forward with the speed of someone actually sitting on it and kicking off. But nobody was there. No weight. No child. Just an empty seat, pumping itself back and forth with the same strength, the same rhythm, again and again. We both stared, confused. My cousin tried to explain it away. Maybe someone was just here and jumped off. Except minutes passed, and the swing did not slow down. Not even a little. That was when the sound started. Soft at first, barely noticeable. A giggle. A child's giggle, faint, breathy, drifting across the playground like it came from far away. We froze. The swing kept moving. Not randomly, but but like someone was actually riding it. Kicking, swinging higher, laughing. My cousin whispered, That can't be real." I didn't answer. I just stood up slowly. I wanted to leave, but my legs felt weak, like the air itself was pressing against me. As we backed up toward the parking lot, the swing suddenly stopped. Instantly, like someone grabbed it mid-flight. No gradual slowdown, just dead still. We both turned at the same time. The swing was being held back, pulled up, as if someone was gripping it tightly. But there was nothing there. No wind, no hands, just empty air holding it in place. Then it snapped forward, violently, as if thrown by force. We sprinted to the car. When we sped out of the parking lot, both of us looked back for one last glance. Bad idea. The swing was moving again. Only this time, all three swings were moving. All at the same height. All at the same rhythm. All swinging toward us, like something was waving goodbye. Many parks built in older neighborhoods, especially those developed in the 70s and 80s, were placed over former residential zones, demolished buildings, and in rare cases, forgotten burial sites. Playground equipment like swings and merry-go-rounds often become hotspots for unexplained motion and audio anomalies, reported by locals as far back as the early 1990s. A hiker shared this story online after an encounter that still keeps him awake at night. He had taken a long trail in a national forest, one of those quiet routes where you barely see another person for hours. He lost track of time, and before he knew it, the sun was dropping fast behind the trees. Shadows stretched across the path like long black fingers. He started walking faster. He wasn't scared at first, just annoyed with himself for staying out so late. But as he approached a fork in the trail, a beam of light flashed between the trees. Someone was up ahead. A ranger stepped out, tall, wearing the forest green uniform, a hat, and carrying a flashlight. Relief washed over him. He waved and called out, "Hey, am I heading the right way to the parking lot?" The ranger didn't wave back, didn't respond. He just stood still, flashlight pointed downward, staring at the hiker. The hiker thought maybe he hadn't heard, so he approached slowly. Normally, rangers greet hikers right away, especially near closing time. But this one didn't move an inch. As he got closer, something felt wrong. Rangers usually have radio chatter, keys, or equipment clinking softly. But this man was silent, completely silent. The hiker tried again. "Sir, the parking lot, is it this way?" The ranger slowly raised his arm, painfully slow, like each bone was resisting the movement. And then he pointed, not toward the trail leading back to the lot, not toward anything familiar. He pointed straight into the forest, into the thick, black trees where no path existed. The hiker frowned. That can't be right. The map showed the lot behind me. The ranger didn't react. His arm stayed locked in that stretched, unnatural position, pointing, pointing, pointing. Finally, the hiker noticed something that made his stomach twist. The ranger's badge, where his name should have been, was blank, completely smooth metal. No engraving, no numbers, no letters, nothing. His nameplate was the same, just empty, like someone tried to copy a uniform from memory and got the details wrong. The hiker's mouth went dry. "Okay, I think I'll just go the other way," he said, stepping back. The ranger's head turned toward him, but not naturally. It snapped. Fast. Too fast. The hiker stumbled backward. The ranger didn't step forward, didn't chase him, didn't move his body at all. He just stood sideways now, blocking nothing, still pointing into the forest, as if waiting for the hiker to make a choice. The hiker turned and ran, branches whipping his face, heart pounding so hard it hurt. He didn't stop until he reached the lit clearing near the trailhead. Inside the ranger station, he burst in, breathless. Two real rangers looked up in shock. "Is everything okay?" one asked. I saw a ranger on the old pine trail," he gasped. He was pointing into the forest. His badge, his uniform, something's wrong. Both rangers exchanged a look, a very uneasy look. One of them asked quietly, "Was he tall, wearing the older-style hat?" The hiker nodded. The ranger sighed and rubbed the bridge of his nose. "We don't have anyone on duty out there tonight," he said. "We haven't for years." The hiker stared, confused. "What do you mean?" The ranger hesitated, then added, "And if you saw who we think you saw, you should be grateful you didn't follow where he pointed. Parks feel safe in the daylight. Families walking, kids laughing, joggers passing by. But when the sun goes down, they become something entirely different. Empty trails, shadows that move where they shouldn't, swings that start on their own, figures standing too still among the trees. So the next time you're in a park and the light begins to fade, pay attention to the sounds around you. Listen for footsteps that don't match your own. Watch the edges of the trail, the places where the dark seems a little too thick. And if you ever see someone standing perfectly still between the trees, don't look back. Just walk. And don't stop until you're out of the park. Let me know which story creeped you out the most. Stay safe, especially outdoors, where the night has its own secrets.